Good morning and welcome to the Real Estate Walk and Talk this Monday here on Atlantic Beach in Jacksonville. Question of the day: how do you choose the right neighborhoods for rental property investing and why? And if you have more questions than I'm able to answer here on the Walk and Talk, you can join us for the Not Your Average Investor show tomorrow. This is the theme of the show. So there will be a great opportunity for you. You can register at jwbshow.com. All right, so how do you choose the right neighborhoods? Well, the number one rule of investing in rental properties is positive cash flow. And I see we've got a few people joining us here. We're talking about how to choose the right neighborhoods for rental property investing. And it's really windy here on the beach. So would you guys let me know if you guys can hear me here? I see we got Bill Oxley on here. Bill, just let me know if you guys can hear me or if I need to find another way to do this. But so the number one rule of investing in rental properties is positive cash flow, right? That is why you're investing. Positive cash flow means that you're earning more money in rental income each month than you're spending and all the expenses that come along with it. And that's my simplified definition of an asset. All right, you guys can hear me good. All right, great. Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, Bill. So that's my definition of an asset. Something that pays you money and pays for itself every single month. You know, a liability is the opposite. Liability is something you got to spend money on every single month. So the number one rule of investing in rental properties is positive cash flow. And there's four things that we look at to find the right neighborhoods here in Jacksonville. And this will help you in your searches as well. So here's what we look for. Number one, you got to have low prices and high rents. The second one is you have got to, oh man, I've got it in the notes here. Sometimes it's hard to remember all my notes when I'm going live. You've got to make sure that you stay away from violent crime. Number three, you've got to make sure you are in strong rental demand neighborhoods. And I'll think of number four. It'll come up to me. So, all right, number one, you've got to make sure you got low prices and high rents. Now, here's why you're able to produce positive cash flow, but let me give you some specific measurements on this. All right, so you want to make sure that you're investing in neighborhoods that are below the median home sales price of your city or your MSA. All right, because you want to invest in neighborhoods that are middle income to below middle income. All right, that's where the number one trigger is going to be for your cash flow sweet spots. If you go to above middle income, then you're going to get in places where your expenses are higher than the income you can bring in. This is because of two reasons. Your home prices are higher there, which increase your mortgage payments every single month, and there's not enough rental demand there. So you've got to make sure you're in those neighborhoods where there is significant rental demand. So easy way for you to look at it is find the neighborhoods where your median home sales price in that area is below the median home sales price for the area. Here's an example. The median home sales price in Jacksonville right now is $250,000, and typical homes for JWB will be between $160,000 and $200,000 for a purchase price. All right, so there's a good metric for you. Now for rents, that let's say it's a $180,000 home that in JWB's rental neighborhoods, that's going to rent for about $1,300 a month. All right, so that rent to price ratio is something to pay attention to. You know, you want to see, and this is not an end all be all as far as the rent to price ratio, but about 0.7% or more will get you positive cash flow. You don't want to go below 0.65%. And that can vary for the neighborhoods that you're in because that takes into account low property taxes that we have here in Jacksonville, low homeowners insurance costs, things of that nature. But that's kind of a guideline for what we see in Jacksonville here. All right, the second one, I remembered it now. You've got to be surrounded by jobs. Right? We've got to have neighborhoods make it easy for your people to live and work. And the jobs information is so easy to find for you guys. And welcome everybody who's walking with me right now. If you all have questions about rental property investing and choosing the right neighborhood, go ahead and fire them in. I'll leave some time at the end to make sure I answer your questions here. I see your question, Bill. I'll get to you here in just a second. Hey, Anthony, good to see you. Roldan, nice to see you, my friend. And we've got Ellen Berkeley watching. I appreciate you being here with us. All right, so you got to make sure that you've got jobs around you. This is so easy. Just do a search of your Chamber of Commerce. Chamber of Commerce love talking about the job creators and the businesses that are serving the local community. So look and see who your biggest employers are. In general rule of thumb is you want to make sure that those employers and those jobs are within a 20-minute drive. And so in Jacksonville, our largest employer is the military. Wonderful employer, not going anywhere, right? And one of our Navy bases, our largest Navy base, is NAS Jax. NAS Jax. Oh man, I was thinking MSA. NAS Jax, which is right there on the west side. And you've got 20,000 jobs right there. And that is right in the heart of the west side, which is one of JWB's 4 main neighborhoods in Jacksonville. 20,000 jobs. And sure, some people live on base, but a lot of people live off of base right there. And then to the north of the west side, you've got downtown Jacksonville, where there's 55,000 jobs, right? And our other neighborhoods in Jacksonville also benefit from downtown, and they also have their other job creators. But look for these types of job creators when you're finding a neighborhood for yourself. Obviously, more jobs help our residents, and high-paying jobs help our residents earn enough money to maintain their lifestyle and continue to pay the rent and to be in a neighborhood where they want to stay for a long time. Because if you listen to me often, the number one rule for investing is positive cash flow, but the second most important thing for you is to have long-term resident stays. All right, so easy for you to find jobs information. Just go to the Chamber of Commerce. All right, the third rule is you got to be in a neighborhood where there's strong rental demand. This is one that sometimes people might not be comfortable with. But you got to understand why you're investing, right? You're investing in a neighborhood where there are more renters than people who own. And that's the beauty of positive cash flow. If you invested in a neighborhood where everybody owned and there was very, very little renters, you would not get positive cash flow. So you got to get over this fact. You're going to be investing in neighborhoods where there's a significant amount of renters. 50 to 75% of renters in a neighborhood is great, right? What does this mean as far as the neighborhood? Well, when you drive around, you're probably not going to see every lawn maintained exactly like you would maybe maintain your lawn, right? But that's got to be okay for you. If this type of an asset class is going to work for you, you got to be okay with that, right? There's no perfect investment out there. So those neighborhoods, sometimes people call them B neighborhoods, C neighborhoods on an A, B, C, D scale. Those are your C's and sometimes getting into your B's. But you got to be comfortable being in those types of neighborhoods so that your rental demand is strong and that provides your positive cash flow opportunity. So one criteria that should not matter to you, should not put yourself in the shoes of your resident and say, would I live here? That has no bearing on whether or not this is a good investment for you, because you are not going to be renting this house. You're going to be providing great housing for somebody else who is going to be renting this house. All right, so that was the third one. And then the fourth one is you got to stay away from violent crime. I will point out that, for most people, you would agree with me there. It's not groundbreaking or earth-shattering, but do need to point out that it's a fallacy to think that you're going to be investing in neighborhoods where there's no crime at all, right? There are no neighborhoods where there's no crime. There are varying degrees of crime, and there are neighborhoods, and my neighborhood has crime in it, right? But it's not violent crime. And those are the neighborhoods that we stay away from. On the surface, people say, well, sure, I wouldn't want to go and invest in those neighborhoods. That's usually a pretty easy argument for people to make. But another important thing is that if you think that you can invest in some of these neighborhoods where maybe the numbers look so good, but you're willing to kind of bend on the fact that there may be some, violent crime that's happening, you're not going to find effective property management there either. Our company's not going to go into the violent crime neighborhoods in our city, in Jacksonville, right? There's violent crime in every city, right? We're not going to go there. We're not going to manage your home there. Effective property management isn't going to go there. So if you want this to be a passive investment, obviously you want to have effective property management. You're not going to find in the neighborhoods where you do see violent crime. So you want to stay away. And a great resource for you to find those neighborhoods, you can check Trulia. You can see the crime maps there. there's a lot of other resources if you just Google it. And they now have nice pictures for you to see kind of where crime activity is happening. And so you can go there. So here's some of the neighborhoods. I get asked often, what neighborhoods does JWB invest in? And welcome to everybody who's walking with us right now. We're talking about what the best neighborhoods to invest in for rental property investing and why. And the neighborhoods we invest in the west side, parts of the north side, Arlington, and parts of the south side in Jacksonville. And specifically, if you'd like to do some more research on it, here are the zip codes: 32210, 32205, 32244, 32208, 32218, 32211, and 32207. So, all right, number one rule again, positive cash flow. That's your entrance into this game. That's what you need for rental property investing. And when you find that neighborhood where you feel like you can get positive cash flow and the numbers work, these 4 things will help you determine it's the right one. You got to have low prices and high rents. Got to be surrounded by jobs. Got to have strong rental demand, 50 to 75% of renters, and not have violent crime. So let's kind of see who we've got here. We've got Cody watching. Cody's on my team. Good to have you here, Cody. Catherine Terracano, Marilyn Cotterman has got a question for me. She said, approximately what percentage of your tenants are military? You know, Marilyn, I don't know that number. It's not an overwhelmingly high percentage of tenants that are military. I mean, we manage 3,500 homes, and so we are in these 4 neighborhoods, so not all of JWB's homes are right there on the west side. You know what, I'll have to go and see if we can have that number for you. I don't even know off the top of my head, but I'll go and ask my team so we see if we have that number. And I know you're always joining us on the shows, Marilyn, and I appreciate all your support, so I'll have something a little bit more for you next time. And hopefully you join the show tomorrow at 12:30. All right, and I think Bill Oxley asked for what is an MSA? It stands for Metropolitan Statistical Area. The difference between a city and an MSA is this. The MSA basically takes some of the surrounding communities and adds it to a city. You know, so like in Jacksonville, I think there's 900,000 people that are actually in the city of Jacksonville. But then you've got, you know, St. John's and Fernandina and Clay County and some of these surrounding areas right around, which really are served by they're served by Duval County. Like, the jobs are there and all of that good stuff. And that's how you get to your metropolitan statistical area. And that's where we get to 1.5 million people here in Jacksonville. You take some of the surrounding areas, and they do this all across the country in all the major cities. They take some of the surrounding communities and add it there. Let's see if we've got any other questions here. I appreciate all of you watching here. If you've got any questions, feel free to fire those in. So we've got Anthony Ditta watching as well. I think that's a wrap for today, everybody. So hope you guys enjoy. And Roldan said, hooray to the Navy. Yes, we love our Navy for sure. All right, everybody. Well, I'll see you tomorrow on the show at 12:30. You can register for it at jwbshow.com. And I'll also be doing another walk and talk tomorrow around this time. I'll give you a little bit of a heads up, maybe 10, 15 minutes heads up, just like I did today. So I'll catch you tomorrow and have a great day.